Hi,
Hi, good morning.
good morning. Welcome to episode 42.
Hmm. It's been
40,
a long journey.
yeah, yeah, but fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I've gone
So
through a
how,
lot of shit.
yeah. How are you today?
Peachy.
Same. Which I think is actually the name of my lip color.
Oh, I have no idea what mine is.
Something. I don't know. It's Fenty. That's all I know. Um, thank God for FabFitFun because I get stuff in there I wouldn't be able to afford otherwise.
Right. See, and the one I got is from my Ipsy and don't have a clue.
Okay, I really think I chew on my hair when I sleep because
Maybe you're getting hangry in your sleep.
no, because I usually eat something before bed.
But then why are you chewing on your hair, lady?
So I chew a lot of gum at work.
Oh.
So I think that I don't
So
know.
you're used to the mouth movement, and so when you're sleeping, your mouth is trying to continue that movement, so it just grabs hair.
Maybe like
That's
it's 2:30.
hilarious.
Let's grab a stick of gum. Well, no, I think it no, at 2:30 we were done poloing, I think.
I think.
Yeah, because I went, yeah, something, I don't know.
It might have
Um,
been 2:30 your time, but it was only 1:30 my time. So 2:30 my time, I finally stopped scrolling TikTok and started reading. And then I was up till 4:30.
I yeah, I think I was sleeping by 2:30. Um, it's been a long week and it's only fucking Wednesday.
Yep.
um, yeah, work's been rough this week. It's just I wake up sore every day. I don't know. I'm too old for this shit, but whatever. I like to eat. So
Me too.
I'll deal.
Hence why I have, you know, a lot of fluff. I'm
Same.
squishy.
Same. I'm quite fluffy.
I'm a
Um
human squishmallow.
I, I am supposed to okay, I've had a gym membership for 11 years now. Almost 11. For a while I was only using it to tan, but I can't tan anymore because of the hyperpigmentation. So,
I'm wondering though, like if you put something over your face, would you still be able to tan the rest of you?
see, that's what Roy said. He's like, because your face is quite dark as it is. It's darker than the rest of you, which it
Mhm.
is. And yeah, I probably could, but I also like to breathe.
Cut a mouth hole.
I could do that. Um, but anyway, girl at work, she was talking about it, and I said, I would love to go, but I'm that person. I need someone to go, get off your ass, let's go.
Yeah, same.
Because they actually just built one. Do you remember the first hotel you stayed at when you were here?
Vaguely.
And it was like right by Lowe's, right?
We went there and slept.
Yeah. Well,
So
it
I don't really
was,
remember a whole lot.
yeah. So it was like right there by Lowe's, and there used to be a Gander Mountain there, and then those, kind of went belly up. Well, that is now a, excuse me, a Planet Fitness.
Oh, okay.
So that's very close to me.
Hmm.
Um, so we were talking about it, and I said I would like to go like at least 3 days a week. She's like, let's do it. I'll be your gym buddy. Okay. So we're starting next week. We are gonna
Good.
start last night, but we both decided we needed one more fat girl day.
That's funny.
And then my thought was, then that also gives me a chance to buy some different stuff for dinners and whatnot
Mhm.
instead of, frozen pizza, macaroni and cheese, the bad shit. So that's the plan. I will keep you posted.
That's better than what I eat.
I've seen some of the things you take to work. That look is guilt. Yeah, so that is the plan. I will keep you posted on how that goes. Um, I would like to be gym buddies with my daughter,
Mm-hmm.
but until they get a vehicle, because it's just a lot of running to go grab her and whatnot, and
Right.
take her back home. When after work, I just want to go in there. I'm gonna start out with they have a 30-minute circuit thing,
Mm-hmm.
and you're in there for 30 minutes and done. I can do that.
I saw this video where it was for people who have a hard time starting.
Mhm.
So basically, the first day you want to go work out, you just show up. You don't actually work out. Next day, you show up, going for a minute. And then the next time you go, 3 minutes.
Okay, so
And then 5 minutes.
I'm close to this gym, and that's a lot of wasted gas for nothing.
Yeah.
Before they
But it's
built
for
one,
people who are like, they have the anxiety of going in,
and that makes sense.
and stuff like that. And so it's not so much about actually going and working out, but actually showing up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Because
and
it's
and
so
that
easy for us to put it off.
yeah, and that's understandable. But again, my thought is with some of the gas prices the way they are, and I'm gonna have to jump over this way for a second, plug in my phone. Um, Before they built this one, there is another one, but it's a good, I don't know, 15 minutes away. Um, that's a lot of gas. And
Yeah.
honestly, I head in that general direction every couple weeks because that's where my nail girl lives. And I mean,
Hmm.
look, she's worth it.
Oh,
And
yes.
then a little bit further is my crystal shop that I frequent. Um, so yeah.
Yeah. I was at my crystal shop yesterday. 0 readings for 3 hours.
That's a bummer.
Yep.
I
Um,
is it something they're promoting? Like,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't even know if they are. I mean, I try. I put myself out there to people all the time. I'm always talking to people about it. And in fact, yesterday I had a few people who were planning to come and then they didn't. Um, but the girl who was there yesterday was like, well, maybe we should make a sign up list for you so that you have people when you get there. That was brought up last year. Never got done.
Mm, okay.
So yeah, it's really tough. Like I have no motivation to actually go and do readings. The
Right,
only
because
time I am motivated to go to readings is like if it's a special event, because then I know that I'm at least going to do a handful.
yeah, which, it's good to know that you've got that to look forward to.
The
Um,
downside, they don't happen all that often. Like it's only once every few months. Um, and it's always on a Saturday.
fun. Yeah.
Hmm. Always on a
Um,
Saturday.
yeah. I know you're on Christy's page.
Hmm.
When she makes plans to have someone come in, she advertises the shit out of it. Now, I don't know how well it does because it's always at a time I'm at work.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. Um, but I know she advertises the hell out of it.
Yeah. Another downside for my crystal shop is they don't have Facebook. They don't have a TikTok. They don't have Snapchat, none of that. All they have is the email and like the main website because there's different stores, in different locations. Um, and so each store has their personalized flyer that is emailed out to people.
I am going to excuse myself for one quick minute, so I'm gonna mute. So
Okay.
go ahead and tell me about your crystal shop.
Um, so yeah, it's Crystal Rock Healing, and I go on Tuesdays from noon to 3 and do my oracle readings. But it's not working out so much lately. So not really sure if I'm going to continue it. I know I've said that before, but I always get sucked back in with an event and then I start doing regular days again and then I'm let down again. So if you're in my area and you're hearing this, please come visit me on days I'm in the shop. I need some people. And in fact, yesterday while I was there, the girl told me she had one customer all day, which it is what it is, but it'd be nice to actually have clients lined up knowing that I'm there for a reason because otherwise it just wastes my gas. And it's not like I'm 5-10 minutes down the road, it's literally 20-25 minutes away. So that doesn't help. So that's the what was that on your screen just now? It's got activity and she ain't even there. There she is. Oh, she's low. There she is. Hi. You missed it.
What?
Something flashed on your screen.
Yeah, that was me. I
Oh,
um I'm I was trying to plug in my phone and my little desk light said,
oh, okay. That explains that.
and I'm probably gonna try. I don't know how to do the cut the video part, but I'm gonna try and cut that out.
I was like, oh, she got activity and she ain't even there.
No, I am the activity. So
Yeah, ironically, I listened to Steve Shippey's podcast with the professor, I believe it was, who had gone to the one home and he talks about like poltergeists and stuff like that.
mhm.
That was a very interesting take on all of it.
I do have to catch up on that, and I feel horrible, but yeah,
I haven't listened to the one that he put out this week, but that other one was a two-part one. And it's basically that it's not so much there's an actual force within the home, but that a person creates it.
yep, with their emotions.
And it's typically centered around one person who, and it's typically like a female of like a young age or a teenager. And it's actually very rare for it to be like an infant or an elderly person. But it has been known to happen.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah. Um, there's been a few times Roy has thought that stuff that goes on here is my fault for, and I'm like, it's not a poltergeist. That's not. It's not what we got going on. It's just not. Like we have activity, but not poltergeist activity. So
Yeah, because it's usually some pretty extreme shit.
yeah, and like I said, we have it, but we don't have that, thankfully. So
Yeah. One thing like I've kind of been trying to take like note on the activity in my house. And like when it first started, like it first like massively kicked off in 2020. Ironically, which was, I was telling Jill earlier, was kind of when I was coming out of my cocoon of hibernation. But we would hear footsteps, and like we would have visitors, there'd be no one in the house, and they would come in to use the bathroom and they would hear footsteps and stuff like that. But even now, like I'll hear footsteps, but it's not often. Um, just last week, my father-in-law had been sleeping on the couch because my mother-in-law was sick. Um, so my son and I go upstairs in the morning. He's like, "Oh, did you hear the door slam last night?" No. What time? He's like, "Well, I don't know. It was before I went to sleep, so it's fairly early." And usually he's asleep by like 9:30. Um, I was naturally still awake. Never heard a thing. Um, and another occurrence that happens frequently around them is they hear the knocking. Yeah. It's either on our main door that we use to the house, not our front door, our side door. My father-in-law calls it the front door. It's on the side of the house, sir. Our
Yeah.
front door faces the road. Completely opposite sides of the house, completely opposite doors. But it's either on that door, the main one, or the basement door, which is exactly opposite. And since it's in its own little like area, it's very hard to determine which door it's actually coming from.
Hmm.
Um, ironically, I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, my son was coming down and he was telling me that the reason he greatly dislikes coming down here is because of the monster he sees in the basement. Um, and I was like, well, where do you see it? Like, I full on, you know? And he was like, over here. And he actually took me to the area and he's like pointing it out and everything. He's like, oh, yeah, it's right here. You know, can't you see it? It's got red eyes, da 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 da. Da. No, buddy, I'm sorry, I don't see it. I was like, but I believe that you see it. I was like, so this is what we're going to do. This is going to help you to be able to come downstairs. I was like, because once you get down and you come into Mama's room, you know it's safe in there. And he's like, yeah. And so I was like, all right, from now on, when you come downstairs, instead of looking up as you're coming down the stairs, keep looking at the stairs or look at the door. And then that way you won't see it. Um, so that's helped him. But like for me, I get the voices a lot.
Yep.
And like even before we started recording, I was hearing something. And to me, like the first couple of times I had heard it, it sounded like a younger female saying help. Um, and I didn't know if it was coming through the headset or if it was just an external noise. And so I took the headset off and I'm listening. And then I realized it's my cat outside my window.
Which is much better than the alternative. So,
Yes.
um,
Um,
now we get, and I know I've brought this up before, I sit at my table and my back is to my stairway.
mhm.
And my husband and I will sit there and like on Sunday night, if I don't have a shit ton to do, we'll sit and listen to music and play dice. It's just,
It's your thing.
it's our thing. And I'll hear footsteps coming down the stairs. And I know my son's at work. And once he leaves for work, me and my husband are the only ones home. And I'll look at him and he'll go. And then when we go outside to smoke, we'll talk about it. Um, and then, of course, my ex son in law, always here,
Mhm.
always here, always here.
Yep.
You
See,
know,
and for our house, I think it's a combination of her family his family, and my family. Because I know my grandma's here a lot.
Yeah.
I know she is. And my aunt visits. I know his dad visits. I honestly think that's who's doing the knocking. And then there's her family.
Say no more.
No, it did the tingle and
Oh,
down.
gotcha.
Which I think it's. Did you see that streak?
No, I was looking at your face.
That that was weird. Um, so am I freezing?
No,
Okay, that's weird. Did you see that?
it looks like it's getting lighter and darker back there.
But it's like right here.
My eyes
Um,
are too bad. I can't see little details.
put me bigger on your screen and you'll see it. But I think it's also her uncle.
That could be.
I think that's the one that torments me.
I don't know if I'm missing it or what.
There is something like this half of the screen. It's. Did you catch that one?
Yeah. It's almost like as you're moving, the light is I don't know.
It
Um
happens even when I'm sitting still. Because I can see it shifting up by the fan blades.
well, tell them we're doing a podcast. Knock it off. We're busy. We don't have time for your shit.
But this is
Um,
part of why we started doing the video, was so that people could see the weird shit that
it
happens
is, it is.
when we're doing it.
Um I don't remember what we were saying. Oh, the uncle.
Yeah, I think that's the one who would torment me.
Yeah. No, I have been told like this, not just my house, but like the general like a few houses on either side of me and across the street is a way station kind of thing.
hmm
Um, so it's almost like it's like a revolving door.
Well,
And
isn't the Potter Street station not far from you?
yeah, it's not very far from me at all.
That could be a part of it.
Like if I timed it, it's probably a 4-minute drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close. Um, but and I don't and there's actually train tracks behind me.
hmm
Um,
Yeah, I've heard your train.
um, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but yes, I was told like this area, and I do, and funny enough that this is kind of my subject matter today. Um, like I do all the stuff. I've got like the nails in the four corner of my property. Um, and Roy's like, isn't that supposed to stop it? It stops the negative.
hmm
Stops the negative. It doesn't stop everything.
Right.
So yeah, there's like I've done a lot. I do a lot to cut out the negative, the bad. Yeah, it seems like as you move, as it gets
But I was hearing footsteps in my room.
No, I was hearing footsteps and I thought maybe it was someone walking around upstairs.
When you hear like the creaking, that's upstairs, but this was on carpet.
Okay, no, because I was hearing footsteps. I just thought it was someone upstairs.
Yeah, I got some sweetgrass yesterday, so
Yeah.
I'm going to be adding. Oh, and I got coal,
Okay.
so I'm gonna try that too, just to kind of help keep it going. But yeah, obviously I need to cleanse the room again.
I don't know if it's all sweetgrass, but I had, and it was so hard to even because it was beautifully braided.
Hmm.
And it smells so good.
I haven't actually used sweetgrass before, so it's a new one for me. But I just got a little braid because one of
Oh,
the really long braids over $20 at my
yeah.
store. I was like,
Oh,
yeah, no.
good Lord. It's, it was a while ago and I still have it and I do use it very sparingly because
Hmm.
it was pricey, but oh my God, does it smell good. And one of the things I would do, it's been a while since we've sat out and did a bonfire type thing,
Hmm.
but I would throw some in there.
Okay.
Just so while we're sitting out there, it's a nice experience. Um,
Yeah, I'll mix that with my sage and my Palo Santo shavings.
yeah, it's a very I love the smell of it. I love the smell of it. And like I said, it's so funny. And this was actually a last minute topic change. I had something completely different that I had researched, and something told me this morning, no, do this. So
Okay.
because I've already got a lot of the stuff
Hmm.
and I have it all here next to me. So I got some
Oh,
visual aids for the YouTubes.
fun. Okay.
Um, so yeah, so it's really weird that we just
That's
randomly
upstairs.
we randomly started talking about this because this is my subject for the week is ways to rid your home of negative energy.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect for this week.
Yeah, so it works perfect. Excuse me. As we know, I drinking coffee gives me the burps. You should now I love being at work when I do because I do take this like I drink normally I just drink a coffee cup, but today I was like, I need more. I just needed more. So I'll drink this and then I'll take this to work and then go from there. But
Mhm.
um it's noisy at work. As you know, you've been on the phone with me.
Yeah.
Uh so I can burp really loud and nobody knows. It's great.
Nice.
It's great. I burp like a dude.
I can when nobody's in my office.
Yeah, I like yeah. Um, so do you want to get started on
Yes,
the
please.
topic of the day? Um, and I know you already know so many of these. There's a couple of them that I mean they make sense in this list. And this is a list from housebeautiful.com. It's an article written by Lauren Smith McDonough. Um, and like I said, I came up with this last minute, so I'm just using the website as my notes today. Um, and then we can throw in like personal things. And like I said, I do have some visual aids. So the first thing they have listed is airing everything out. And I don't know about you, but like on an when spring hits and you can finally open windows when it's warm enough, we will have every window in the house that we can open. Now, my husband's cheap, and of course, we put plastic over the windows in the winter, and
Hmm.
he doesn't like to remove the plastic on most windows because then he doesn't want to have to buy more and put it up next year. Because I say cheap, he says frugal. It's whatever. But getting the fresh air in, and I don't know about you, but like when there's a nice breeze and you smell the spring, and it puts me in a good mood. And sometimes your mood is going to be a factor in the energy around you. And I know if I'm in a shit mood, everything seems to go wrong. And if I'm in a shit mood, I kind of deserve it. That's how that's my personal opinion. That may not be how everybody else thinks. Um, the next thing on their list is burning incense. The smoke does have a way of clearing the energy. And I know, like, when I do my jars, my candles and everything, I cleanse everything with the smoke. I try to use dragon's blood. I'm currently out of that right now. And I actually have moldavite incense right now.
I really want some of those. Um, I use the smoke because I have like the world's smallest window in my room. And we don't open any of the other windows in the basement because there's two, three, I think. Three. Yeah, they don't function. And so I basically just clear my space, because I'm a basement dweller. Uh, but I'm also a cave person because even within the basement, I have my 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 space, which is my
Right.
room. Um, and so yeah, I will take the battery out of my smoke detector, much to dismay. But and then I clear my room with the smoke. I do a combination of different herbs and mix them up and burn them and all of that.
Yep. And we'll get to that.
Sorry.
That's no, you're good. You're good. That's because well, you know, and I'll talk about it when we get to it, but like in some of the visual aids, I use that stuff too. There is, I mean, there's a lot of different things. But like if I light a whole stick of incense and I'm only doing one jar, I will take that stick and walk around my house because I'm not wasting it.
Mm-hmm.
So I will take it and walk around the house, and sometimes I get complaints about the smell of the sage, you know. Um I don't complain about it, but it kind of smells like Snoop Dogg's been in my house.
Seeing for here, my father-in-law has COPD. So if I do like do a cleansing on the whole house, I have to do it when he's not here and like isn't going to be here like for the rest of the day,
Right.
to be able to do it because otherwise it'll affect that.
And there's people that live in apartments that's not allowed. So there are other ways to do it, which I know you know. Um, uh, One is to spray orange essential oil around your home. Like you can make, I am not the biggest fan of orange. Like I can eat oranges and I can drink orange juice with extra pulp.
No,
There's
no,
got to be pulp.
no.
Um,
I don't want to chew my drink.
I do. I like to chew it. Um, but I like orange scented cleaners. That's a no for me. I
Or
don't.
lemon.
Um, Lemon's not. I pine. Keep that shit the fuck away from me.
Yes.
Um, And I think that growing up, there was a friend of my mom's that her house always smelled like pine sol. And I have issues with that smell because it was like an overwhelming,
Mhm.
like it wasn't diluted, straight fucking pine sol. So I don't do pine cleaners. I just,
Yeah.
nope.
It's actually not pine sol up there. It's a pine scented Scentsy.
No, okay, that I can do. I have like a couple of pine scented things. I'm okay with it. It's pine sol or
I'm
pine
over it.
scented cleansers. But I've never been a fan of orange scents. Um, and then when I got into Young Living, I don't know if it was an accidental order or if I ordered it on purpose or if I had a reason for it, but I had ordered the orange and I received the orange. Or maybe it was a freebie because it used to be you get a bunch of free shit when you ordered.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm like, this is never going to get used. I have bought it several times because not only I actually like the smell of it. And if you have grease on your stove, psh, um, but orange is also like it's supposed to uplift your mood.
Mhm.
So it kind of makes sense that it would help to clear negative energy.
Mhm. Because it's gonna
Um,
help bring your energy up, which is gonna bring up the energy of the space you're in.
yep, because my thought is always you get what you give. So if you're throwing off good mood, good vibes, happy, smiling, that's what you're getting in return. Unless you're dealing with a dickhead. And then, that's usually on the dickhead. Um, so and I try to do this often. Like I am by no means Pollyanna, by no means. Um, but I do try to come at everything with a decent, I'm not gonna say positive. I'm not always like my go-to phrase when I pass through the gates at work is I don't want to fucking be here. I hope there's extra and they can send me home. Um, that hasn't been working out so well. I've been good and been staying at work. Do I want to be there? No. And I notice as long as I'm like, I don't want to be here, I have a shit day. And the day drags on. So if I come at it like I'm glad I have a job,
Mhm.
my day does go a little bit better. So I don't know what that had to do with orange spray, but whatever.
The mood.
Remove clutter as soon as possible. And this is where I fail. I fail here big time. Um, I I have a lot of clutter.
What if it's someone else's clutter?
Um, um, but when like I first redid this room and there was no clutter and it was nice and it was clean, it does change your mood.
Mhm.
When I go through and I clean out my room, closet, drawers, everything from top to bottom, I feel better. So it makes sense why that's on this list. Because they say objects retain lots of energy and physically, mentally, and emotionally and spiritually block our path to forward.
Mhm.
So that makes sense. Um, the next on their list is something maybe a lot of our listeners know is smudging your entire home with sage. Now, I've read it's a closed practice. I don't know. something about white sage, this sage and that sage. And if you use white sage, you got to buy it from, indigenous people. And I don't know. I don't know. Um, I do this, which is dragon's blood. This one obviously hasn't been used because I didn't want ashes falling all over the fucking place.
Hmm.
Um, and we've talked about this. I also use Palo Santo, um, rosemary leaves. Those are really good. Or rosemary to burn that. Um, bay leaves, chamomile. Um, there's a lot of like that's those are like I guess the big ones to burn
Hmm.
to now if I burn a bay leaf, I always write on it
Yep.
what I'm burning it for.
Same.
Uh so and sometimes it's hard because the second you go to write on it, it'll crumble. And if
Yep.
it crumbles, I won't use it. I won't use it in
Yeah. Same.
anything. I throw it away. Um, but I mean, I suppose if you're burning everything in like a bowl or I know you have a mini cauldron, I have a mini cauldron. Um, I I guess you could burn it in there with other herbs. Um,
When I do my bay leaves, thank you for those, by the way.
you're welcome.
Um, I do those separate. I will actually light a candle and I clear out my little cauldron, and I burn the bay leaf separate, because typically when I'm doing that, it's with intention, which is a different intention than what else I burn.
Mhm.
And also when I burn the other for cleansing, I also use juniper.
Okay, I don't know. I might have juniper. I don't know. I got like a whole thing of remember when I got all them herbs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're still in the fucking box. Well, because I have so many already, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to use any of those until these were
They
like
want to have doubles open.
right. And I kind of getting out of like I haven't done anything on my page in a long time.
Hmm.
So I'm not really making them unless someone requests it kind of thing. Um,
Thank you for mine.
you're welcome.
I requested.
Um, I had made some for the event that I did back in October. Sold a couple. It's I don't know. Like I like doing them. They're relaxing, but it's now it's more for fun, which I'm okay with because
Hmm.
before when I was getting a lot of orders, it was kind of like work. And I've said it 100 times. I have to be in that right state of mind.
Right.
My energy has to be good if I'm working on something for someone else because I don't want my energy if I'm in a shit mood going into that.
Yeah.
So that's now I've looked up a million different ways where people say, well, this is how when you're using sage, how you must do it. And then other people know this is how you must do it.
That's why I question whether or not it's a closed practice because I mean, I understand indigenous people use it in their rituals, but they are not the only ones to use it. I mean, the Celts, the Druids, Scottish, Irish. I don't know if any English did, but I believe even like the Vikings, Saxons, it's been used all throughout history in various cultures and religions.
Right.
And so I think to say that it's closed due to native practices, I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Like I
I mean,
said,
like,
I've heard it. And then I see other people say it's not closed. It's, if you use, I believe it's white sage, this is where you should be buying it. And then it's okay. I don't know. I I don't think I use white sage. Um, I don't
I
know.
have some, but it came as a part of, a package. Like it wasn't intentionally bought,
Yeah,
for
that
anything
might
like
be
that.
that might be the case with me too. But again, I don't know. Um, I do like I love this stuff. And I know dragon's blood is supposed to be like for love and protection and things like that. Um, and then I love this stuff. It smells so good.
The Palo
Uh,
Santo.
yep. And there is again, there's some people that rent or, like your father-in-law have breathing issues or live with someone with breathing issues. I do know you can get like sage essential oil,
Hmm.
Palo Santo essential oil. I have both. And you can make a spray with it. If you have like an essential oil diffuser, you could throw it in there. Because I think that's a little bit, well, I don't know. Again, maybe if someone has breathing issues, that might be a little much. I don't know. I guess if you live with someone with breathing issues, you know your limits and know what
Hmm.
you can and can't do. Um, Now, when I burn sage or either of these, I start upstairs and I go clockwise around the entire upstairs, and then I come downstairs and do the same thing, ending at my front door. And they say it's best to have a window open so anything negative can escape.
Oh, when I do the whole house, I open multiple windows
Hmm. The more
because
the
I
better.
mean, yeah, it's a large space and it's not so much high as it is wide.
Hmm.
And so, if I'm clearing the back of the house and I only have the door open, it doesn't track to me that I'm going to drive it out that door. It makes more sense to me that I'm going to drive it out that window.
Yep.
So yeah, that's when I do it.
Yep.
Sometimes I have help, and the help doesn't do exactly what I do, and in some cases it doesn't work as well.
Yeah. Um, Now it sounds odd, and people are going to be like, wow, that seems weird. Um, I like having my oldest grandson here when I cleanse because he he's got some gifts,
Hmm.
and I I mean I'm not his mom, so it's 1,000% not up to me. I would like him to hone his gifts
Right.
uh and use them. I've bought him little journals. Um, he's very interested in Wicca and everything that goes with that. So I've bought him books with his mother's permission. That's a personal thing to me. I'm not going to just do it.
Right.
So,
And if I'm not mistaken, you even got books that were geared more towards children versus adults.
yep.
So for anyone thinking, oh my God, he's doing like adult level magic. No, no,
No,
it's not
he's
that.
not. But I do he his energy when I'm helping or when I'm cleansing um is what's the word I'm looking for? Huh. Um he's a big help when I'm doing it. Uh and I have little bottles of holy water too that like well I don't let him hold he's 11, but I don't let him hold whatever's burning. That's me. I usually put him in charge of applying the holy water, and like he knows he's very good at it. And so also if it comes to the point where my daughter's home needs to be cleansed, he could do it if
Hmm.
I'm not available because I work. So he could really do it. You know, he's 11, so with some adult supervision,
Right.
but um, he's a good asset to have with me when I'm doing it.
Yeah, makes sense. I
So
mean, to
next,
me, it makes sense.
yeah,
To some people, it might not.
right. To some people, fuck off. Well,
I
that's
had to get my blanket. It's getting cold.
that's all right. I'm dropping shit. The next on the list is crystals.
As long as mice and squirrels don't steal them, you're all right.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it is.
Um, the Blackstones are really the best for protection. So here we got some black onyx. Gorgeous. This is, I think, amethyst. I don't know. I could be fucking wrong. It looks like amethyst. Yep, it's a chevron amethyst.
Okay.
Um, so you can place these, well, whatever protective crystals you're using. Um, you can place them in rooms, under beds. Uh, you can, like, four corners of a room.
That's what I have is the four corners of the room.
See, I should do four quarters of a room. I don't. And okay, something else. And amethyst is a good one for protection. And it's funny because I just grabbed one of my Awakening in a Box bags and it just happened to be this one. And I've said this for like 2 years now. I need to go through my crystals because I've been doing this Awakening in a Box for like 4 years now. So when you're getting 3 crystals a month for 4 years,
Even when I was doing it, because I did it for like what, year and a half, somewhere in that area. Even I was getting doubles. So
yeah, yeah, it's a lot. I have given some. Um, again, some of the best for ridding negative energy: black tourmaline, black onyx, uh, hematite, um, clear quartz. If you put clear quartz with anything, it amplifies it. So if you have a lot, see, and I do a lot of clear quartz because of how it amplifies. So if I put it with amethyst and I'm using that amethyst for like third eye stuff, it's gonna amplify it. If I'm putting it with black tourmaline, black onyx for
those aren't handy. Otherwise, I'd show those too.
well, I just showed the black onyx. And I don't have as much black tourmaline as I used to.
Same.
Uh uh
Mice and squirrels.
well, I'm that person. If someone's telling me they're having issues, if it's negative, what do? I gift them a piece of the black tourmaline.
Honestly, I have gifted a few pieces of mine as well. That was prior to critters stealing my crystals, though.
Yeah, little assholes. They didn't
Yeah,
pay.
no,
So
they didn't. I have
so
since moved them though, so that they don't get stolen anymore.
so crystals is a good way to help dissolve negative energy. The next on the list is bells. Is this cute? This came in the newest Awakening in a Box.
That's super
Is
cute.
that cute? I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. I kind of want to put it in my car, but I also think it'll be good to use just walking around the house because it has this little handy dandy keychain type ring at the top.
I think you should put it in your car because motherfuckers be following you everywhere.
But isn't that cute? And
It is.
I love the little noise it makes. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to smack it. Also, I don't know if you remember from when you were here, the doorway coming from my pantry into my kitchen, I have like a string of witches bells
Mhm.
hanging in there that um it's actually one of my favorite purchases from Ditch Flowers before that went. Um I eyed them for a long time and then one day I said fuck it and I bought them. Um so it says ring a bell, but sound. I know you do the singing bowls.
I do.
That's a good way to clear negative energy. So sounds, bells, um, music.
Yep. Sometimes I will, like when I can tell it's real heavy upstairs. Um, I'll wait till no one's here, and I'll go up and I'll do my bowl upstairs. Just walk around doing it, and just trying to clear it a little bit.
Yeah. See, and I would do something like that, but me here alone,
Yeah, you don't go upstairs.
no, I don't go upstairs by myself. Um, don't like it up there. Well, it's not that I don't like, well, like right now it's my son's space and I don't want to intrude. He's, you know, um, I will go up there. I don't like it though. And it's not that I don't like the upstairs. I don't like the fucking stairs.
Yeah,
I don't like the stairs. I just 1000% don't like the stairs.
I get it. I've been on them.
I don't like them. Um, but sound is a good way to, you know, um, paint your
Thinking about
walls.
it, sorry, thinking about it, you could stand at the bottom of your stairs and ring the bells, and it'll go up.
Mhm.
That would work.
Yeah.
I don't know if you thought of that, but I just thought of it.
The next thing on the list is paint your walls yellow.
Um, okay, I need an explanation on that because what I know of painting walls yellow, it drives people crazy.
Well, oddly enough, in this room, when I repainted it, for some reason, a couple years ago, when I was on a repaint everything kick,
I remember
every
that.
at least one color of everything is gray. Um, the this wall is gray.
Hmm.
Um, the actual color, if you like it, is Jogger's Path.
Hmm, okay.
Like my kitchen, I did all the trim gray and it's like a cranberry color wall. My bathroom, I need to redo it because when I first got the gray, it's a different gray, not the Jogger's Path. It was too dark for the small space. So I would mix white paint, but I never measured. And every time I had to make a new batch. So my bathroom walls are different shades of gray and purple.
Is it 50 Shades of Grey?
Probably not far off. Um, and this room is gray, and my accent wall, the name of it is Butter. That's the name
Okay,
of it.
butter. Mm,
Right, and I don't like butter. We've had this discussion, right? You and I have had
but
this.
butter makes everything better.
Uh, I don't like. I don't like unmelted butter. If it's melted, put it on everything. I give zero fucks. But I see people like when they make a sandwich, lick the nope. It's gross. Rachel makes fun of me because of right, like it just nope. Anyway, the color of my wall is butter, and when I first, that first coat, I was like, oh my god, it looks like someone's splashing butter on my wall, and so, but it's a nice shade of yellow. It's bright. It's my original intention for this room was when the grandkids came over, this would be their room, and then I took it over with my crystals and shit. Sorry. I was getting too many. They needed their own room. Um, so I wanted something neutral for the kids, and I thought gray and yellow. And because Broke Best Friend is a girl, I did buy glitter. So there is glitter in my walls, which in some spots you can see it. I don't know. But so the reason, according to this article, paint color plays a pivotal role in your home. And according to interior designer Anna, whatever the fuck her name is, yellow neutralizes bad energy.
Hmm.
I had never heard that before.
Me
So that's kind
either.
of interesting. From an interior design viewpoint, the color will also make your space appear bigger and add a warm tone to the room. I mean, I don't think it makes my room look any bigger. So I think that's a lie.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, I guess yellow, color of the sun, bright, cheery. I kind of get it.
Yeah,
I,
and from what I understand, that's why people would do it like in the past, like 70s, 80s. But then they were finding that it was driving people crazy.
that was probably the drugs.
It could have been.
Um, I mean, I'm not sorry I have a yellow wall.
Hmm.
If I had to redo this room again, would I choose yellow? No. No, not necessarily. I mean, it's not horrible, but yeah, it's the wall, and I'm that opposite person. Like on my accent wall, it's yellow and the trim is gray.
Hmm.
And on the rest of the walls are gray and the trim is yellow.
Okay.
So
See, and for me, I have my wine burgundy-ish color wall, which is my accent wall. Um, and then on the three main walls, I have the bluish green type color, which is the color of Sally's skin. Um, in the actual movie, not, you know, other representations of Sally, because in some she's green, but she's more of a bluish. Um, so yeah, that's what I and then my ceiling is actually like it looks white, but it's technically a gray. Um, but at some point I am going to repaint that because I want to have the night sky on my ceiling.
that would be cool.
Hmm.
That
And
would
I
be
think it
cool.
matches pretty good with, the theme of my room, which is Nightmare Before Christmas. And so yeah, at multiple points, they're in the night and the night sky. So
Okay, so the next thing on the list is salt the corners of each room. Um, I have been told, and I think I told you this, like salting is good for the negative, but you also don't want to trap anything negative in where it's at. Big and actually how I came about that is I was trying to help Jenny. This was a couple years ago now, right?
yeah.
And I had went in to the store to get some crystals for her. And the lady who I've since become really good friends with came up to me. She's like, "So what are you not going to buy today?" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You came in here, but you're not buying it." And I can remember, I still remember getting in my car and texting Jenny, "Call me." And she called me, and I'm like, "Bitch, this woman tapped into you. She nailed like everything." Do
Yeah.
you, do you remember that?
I do remember that because actually when you sent me that message, I was getting in my car. And so yeah, we were talking as we were both in the car.
Yeah, it was it was insane the way she just tapped in. And that was actually, I had been in that store a couple times, but she wasn't there. That was my first time meeting her. I had already met the younger one because
Hmm.
she was always there. But yeah, that was my first time meeting her. And I was like, holy, blew me away. And I'm like, yeah. So she ended up sending me or getting me the stuff that Jenny needed and telling me how to do it. She was like, the cleansing and then salt, but don't salt until you know the shit's gone. Otherwise, you're trapping it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I never thought of that. That does make sense. So I, so since then, I like I use salt in my jars and things like that, but I use it in that capacity a little less than I did before.
Yeah. And if I'm
Um,
not mistaken, that's not the only time she's tapped into me. There was another time she had as well.
yes, and that was after a thing. Um,
Hmm.
and that was me and another lady that was also there. Um, we went there and she was like, there, she looked at me. At that point, I had been going in there a lot. And she was like, there's something off with you. It's not right. And she got fidgety, like weird fidgety. She's like, there's something off with you. Like it looked like she was like speed talking in sign language, the way her hands were just moving. And she did at that point um, a cleansing on me and the other lady. And she was like, and the other person, if you give me permission to cleanse their energy, I can do it. So we were like, absolutely. So we did. And again, I contacted Jenny right after and I'm like, so hey, um,
Which it made perfect sense.
yeah. So I don't want to say don't use salt. Salt does a lot of good, but I guess use it in space that you know is already cleansed of any negative energy, negative spirits, anything like that.
It's almost like with caution.
Yeah. Or it's possible they could be trapped in that space. And that's what worries me.
Hmm.
So, me personally, I do use salt a lot less. I would say the main place I put Roy gets bad dreams. So, I will do a line of salt around our bed,
Hmm.
but that's pretty much it. So,
Yeah,
I
I
do,
don't use salt for that reason.
yeah, I do use it very sparingly. The next thing on the list is start with the clean slate, and this is about when you purchase a new home. Um, and the only person I can think of recently that's bought a new home is Kelly, and I know Kelly knows all this already. So,
Yeah.
if anyone's buying a new home, um, clean and wipe down all your surfaces before moving your belongings into the home. That's pretty much what that means. It will aid in removing any type of leftover negative energy from previous owners. Um, Next on the list, I don't, I guess I didn't read it. Uh, Apparently, this is a feng shui type thing, but it's to remove as many sharp angles as possible. I don't know about feng shui, so I don't know what this means. um, I don't know if that means if you have something like this sitting there, have it like this. I don't know.
I think it's more like say you have a corner, um, like potentially putting a plant there or putting a table or something so that it's not, an actual corner. You have a workaround to that so that it is now a round corner instead of a angled corner.
Okay, that makes sense.
I've
Because
been watching a guy on YouTube.
because it does say using round lampshades or decorating with circular objects such as vases, jewelry boxes, round tables will go a long way towards bringing positive energy into your home.
Hmm.
That may, I mean, I look at everything and everything I have is either rectangle or square. So yeah, there's that. And then this one, the next one on the list, I guess maybe in like the witchy community, this one, I don't know, this one says add more mirrors.
Interesting.
Yeah.
For some of us, so like for me, like I have that giant mirror. I don't look in it unless I'm putting makeup on. And even then, only in certain instances. It's a loaded mirror. We'll say that.
Uh,
But some people might like accidentally scry if they have too many mirrors.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that would be my worry.
Yeah. So I mean, I personally am not a fan of this. I have my bathroom mirror.
Hmm.
You know, it's a medicine cabinet, sliding doors. I have like a mirror on my door
That's
that
what that was.
I very rarely look into. Um, and then I bought it when I had my contacts
Hmm.
because it's like a vanity mirror that lights up, and it's sitting over there unplugged and unused. So actually, that's probably gonna go to
Give it to broke best friend.
she's already conceited enough. If I give her a lighted mirror, do you know the monster I gotta put up with?
But you gave her makeup, didn't you?
She's got makeup that
Okay.
because we're doing our Christmas next month,
Mm-hmm.
and I did find her a really cute makeup kit with the box. And I
Nice.
the year before, she loves makeup, and yeah, she's 7. She's gonna be 8 in a couple months,
Yeah. See, so it makes sense to give her a lighted mirror. She can have fun playing with it.
maybe. So this is on the list. I personally don't agree with this one. The next one is stick with neutral colors, which makes sense. Um, dark colors might bring negative feelings, and I don't know. Personally, I like dark colors, but I won't use them on my walls. Not because I don't like them, but because it makes everything look smaller.
It's my accent wall.
Well, my whole kitchen is that cranberry color. Um, and I've only got one window in my kitchen.
But you have a big window. I have 10 window.
I mean, it's kind of big, but here's where I fucked up. Okay, I fucked up, but I didn't fuck up. I have one of those over the sink dish racks,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine when it's empty. But if you're doing dishes, that blocks a lot of the light coming from that window.
Right.
So, yeah, that's fun. But I love my over the sink dish rack. I've had it
I
3 years
love it.
now.
It's
I've had
awesome.
yeah, 3 years now. And someone had come into my house and really liked it. And I'm like, why don't I order one? And this is a person with a very small sink.
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked to see if, they had like the adjustable ones. And I was going to get it. And then I realized I don't fucking like her. So she didn't get it. She's not my relative. She's not my mother. The next on the list is protect entrances. So doors and windows inside and out act as entrances for energy. And to keep the areas purified, experts at Energy Muse recommend filling up a bucket with water and lemon juice, salt, and white vinegar. wiping down doorknobs and windows with your mixture. And then it says pour sea salt by all of your entrances and cover it with the doormat. Again, I say do that with caution if something is already in your home. Like
Right.
maybe after doing many of these things, then you could do this. Um, I have by my back door, which is the main door people come in and out of. Like I go in and out of my front door because that's where my porch is. That's where I smoke. But company and everything comes through the back door. So there is like a protection thing hanging there. And then I got my witch's bells. And honestly, since the witch's bells, there's at least two people that haven't been in my house.
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
So they work for that negative shit. But I do kind of like that idea of the lemon juice. Now, what I do is, again, and I know you've got some, the cleansing tea bags that I make, that I use sea salt. I don't use black salt because I use it for cleaning and I don't know if it's going to discolor something and I
Right.
don't want to do that. So I do the sea salt, rosemary, bay leaf, and cloves
I'm waiting for the day
and eggshells.
that I can clean that space out there. I think once I'm able to do all of that, which that's the rest of the basement,
Mhm.
and like I can wipe down the walls and all of that kind of stuff. I think that will eliminate what my son is seeing
Hopefully.
because it's such a cluttered space, and that's where things like to hide.
Yep.
And
Now,
ironically, it hides in the most cluttered space in the basement.
now I have a spray bottle. Some of them I will make thin enough that you can put that little opening in a spray bottle. And I could probably change it out now, which now I would just have to get a whole new spray bottle because I think once it's in, you're not getting it out. um, but it's been a while. Uh, it's been in there, and before I use it, I give it a good shake. When I go to mop my floors, I will make one and throw it in my mop water and let it kind of soak a little bit, and then I start
Mhm.
mopping and I use it. So it's, I guess, kind of the same thing, but I just use different things. So,
Understandable.
so
Because you know your space versus knowing someone else's space. So you do kind of a more general for other people's, but a more honed for your own.
right. Now, when I use those cleansing teas, it's the same thing. I make like when I send it to you, or I've sent them to like I think Sherry, maybe. I think so. I think Rachel's got a couple. Uh, so um, those are pretty much the same. Now, when I do the mop water, I do put more in, which I don't think the amount is gonna make a big difference. But I use those when I clean. That's what I use.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
And that is the list.
That was a great list.
Yeah, I like that. I actually think come springtime, I'm going to do that bucket with the lemon, salt, vinegar. Was there anything else? Oh,
I think
water.
there's one other thing.
I know water was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it was water, lemon juice, salt, and white vinegar.
Okay.
So, yeah. I thought it was a good list. And like I said, this was literally a last minute, woke up this morning and went, nope, scrap your notes. So that'll be my next one.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to find out what you were originally going to do. I'm getting tired. Sorry.
That's okay. I am getting to the point I gotta get ready for work.
All right.
So I hope everyone has a great day. I don't know where you are, but here it's nice and sunny.
It looks like it could be sunny out there.
Yeah, it's nice and sunny here, and it's supposed to hit like 50 degrees today,
Nice.
which is great for
According
Friday.
to the top of my phone, it's 36 degrees.
I think when I first got up, it was like 33 or 31 with a real feel of 33.
Okay, so let's see what my watch says. My watch says 25 degrees.
Mm.
They're never the same.
No, oh God, no, never.
And it's really
Uh,
funny when I'm at work because then I'll check like 4 different things and everyone has a different temperature. And then my supervisor will be like, oh, well, mine says this.
yep, right now I have 39 with a real feel of 45.
Nice.
Yeah. So hopefully everyone is having a good day with some nice weather for February. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.